Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Tuesday morning. This is Elena Wharton.
And Emily Maxim.
And you're listening to E Squared. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, my goodness. I hope you all are having a great week so far. To start off our show, as we usually do, we are going to play a Big Time Rush song. This song is very special because this is the first song that Big Time Rush released since they announced their reunion. They're coming back together, and yeah, they've been back since then, and they've been going strong. So everyone, please enjoy Call It Like I See It by Big Time Rush. And that was Call It Like I See It by Big Time Rush. We were just saying how that's such an underrated bop.
It is. When that song first came out, I was in shock. Like, it sounds different than, what we heard years ago when they first came out.
Yes.
And at first I was just like, wow, this is different, and I had to like get used to it because I'm so used to whenever like a band does something kind of different than what they usually do, I'm like, I need to accept it at first, but it's so good.
It is so good. And I remember, like, I was a little emotional when they announced that they were going to release the song because, it had been kind of like 8 years since they put out any music, since they were most active, really. And, it was so much fun because right after that, like a few days later, was it the New York show right after that we went to go? Didn't we see them like the week that the song came out, or like very, very close to the release of the song?
I think so, because I remember first listening to it. I was actually at I was studying at like the other college I went to, Brookdale, and when it first came out, I'm like, oh, we're gonna see them in concert. We get to hear this song.
Yes.
I think it was a couple weeks before. I can't remember, either a couple weeks before, or a couple days before.
Yeah.
And it was so exciting, like such an honor to see them play it live from their like first two shows back, that after like Elena said, 8 years since we first saw them.
Oh my gosh, it was such a huge deal.
Yes,
because they really decided to come back full force, and they've been going strong since then. They've been going so strong that they teased a little something to us this week. There is a song from the Big Time Rush show called Paralyzed.
The best song. And
the thing about Paralyzed is everyone loves it, but it was never on Spotify, never on iTunes, never on Spotify. You could only hear it like either on YouTube or just like if you watch the show. So to set the scene, this is why the song is so awesome. Not only is the song itself awesome, but the part of the show that it happens in is just equally as awesome.
Yes, yes.
So Big Time Rush, they live at the Palm Woods. There's this new girl, Lucy, who comes in, and she wants to be a rock star. And she sees Big Time Rush, and she's like, oh, your music? Oh, that's cute. And they're like, oh, that's cute. They're like, we can rock too. And they decide to kind of drum up this song called Paralyzed, and they perform it on top of a truck, and they stop traffic. And it is like the most rock star thing ever. Oh my gosh, I love that moment.
It feels like a fever dream.
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel like it happened. And as Elena was saying, that song was never released on Spotify, and just to listen to it, like I'll pull up YouTube, I'll put it on loop a couple times.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you mentioned this, but they're actually re-releasing it. And so like they're recording the audio again, their vocals. So I'm excited.
Right. Yeah, me too, because they gave us, they kind of gave us a little hint that they're like, okay, it's coming, and it's coming very soon.
Yes.
Because people started to get kind of not angry, but they started to like band together and like release or they posted hashtags that was like BTR release Paralyzed. People are going crazy because we all love the song so much.
Yes.
Yeah, so today on E Squared, we're going to give you a little bit of a surprise. We're going to give you an extra Big Time Rush song today, and we're going to give you the original version of Paralyzed. So everyone, please enjoy Paralyzed by Big Time Rush. I'm not sure if it's playing, actually. Emily, sit back down. Let's see. How can we figure this out? Do we have another technical difficulty? I think we do.
It's worth the wait. Don't worry.
It is worth the wait. We promise. Yeah, I remember that episode. That was a really good one. Let's see. Let's stall for time, Emily.
Okay. So, trying to like, what was I gonna say?
Let's see. Talk about your favorite Big Time Rush episode. How about that?
Okay. Well, it's kind of hard to choose because I don't know why. When I was younger, I stopped playing it. I mean, stopped watching it, and I don't know what it was. Maybe just like, I don't know. I think I was like more into cartoons when I was younger.
I get that.
And I don't know why I stopped listening or watching the show. I still, even then, I was such a big fan of their music, and then I just stopped watching the show. But I feel like my favorite episode, the one where they had the party in their the crib.
Oh my gosh.
And like they're trying to not get caught, because then if it was like if they had like 3 strikes, then they would be kicked out of the Palm Woods.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one.
No, that one's so good. That one's like pretty early on. It's like a classic.
Yeah, I think that's because I'm still trying to finish it up, as Big Time Rush is actually on Netflix. So I was trying to rewatch the first season, and I'm not up to the other seasons yet. I kind of stopped because I got busy with homework.
It's all good. It's still there. It's there, you know, when you have the time to just indulge in the Big Time Rush magic.
Yes,
yes.
yes.
All right. Let's try and get Paralyzed back up again.
Okay.
We're going to try and hope there are no technical difficulties this time. Everyone, please enjoy Paralyzed by Big Time Rush. And that was Paralyzed by Big Time Rush. Oh my gosh, that was so fun.
I was so excited.
Oh my gosh. We just totally cranked that up in the studio here. That was so much fun.
It was, and Elena got it off of YouTube, obviously, since
Yes,
they said
I did.
it's not on Spotify.
It's not on Spotify yet, but they did a re-recording and it's coming very soon.
Yes.
For those of you who are just joining us, hi, hello. I'm Elena Wharton.
And Emily Maxim.
And you're listening to E Squared here on WMCX. Oh my gosh, those were 2 really good Big Time Rush bops.
It
I
is.
feel really good. All right. Anyway, let's talk about something that happened over the weekend.
Oh, yes, yes.
So, what was it? Was it on Friday?
Friday night.
Yes, Friday night here at Monmouth University, we went to a hypnotism show.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, let's talk about that.
Yes, yes.
It was called Cards Against Hypnosis. So do you want to explain kind of how it worked?
Yeah, it's kind of like the same way as Cards Against Humanity, but the audience picked what the hypnotist would do for the volunteers. So there was like two different things you can choose from.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really wanted to be a volunteer because I've always wanted to do a hypnotist show.
Yay.
And it was very different. Like, like what they did at first, if you ever went to a hypnotist show, I never have, but like what they do is that he plays like this relaxing music, and like he says stuff while it's almost like a guided meditation, but you go into like this deep like stage of being in your subconscious. I think that's what he said.
That's so weird.
And I was so nervous at first, so like it took me a while to like relax. And then once like I started like, you know, focusing in more on like what he was saying, I felt like my whole self just started, like, I feel like I was sinking into the chair.
Oh my gosh.
And it was it was so funny. It was a lot of fun. And even like you're still awake and you're still aware of what's going on, but at the same time, I felt like he said to like keep your eyes closed, and I know I'm like I can't even open my eyes, like I just can't.
It's like you don't even need to tell, like you don't even need to. I can. My eyes are closed. Like, trust me.
Yeah, and like there was this one thing he said, like once you guys wake up, and he'll like point to a couple people, or like I think like, tap their shoulder or something, and say like, oh, this person will believe that their shoe's a phone, and they actually like take their phone, like their shoes off, and like put it up to their ear.
So, did you know in advance that like someone was gonna think their shoe was a phone?
I don't know because I wasn't the one that he like I think like he taps your shoulder or whatever. But I didn't know, like, so when I woke up,
so it was like a surprise, like you didn't even hear the fact that someone's gonna have their shoe as a phone.
Yeah, because since like during the like while he's talking, like we all keep our eyes closed, like I felt so relaxed. It was
gosh.
It was so weird. Like I don't know how he did it, But I'm hoping that Mama does another hypnosis show. It was so fun.
That was so fun. And I was in the audience, so I got to watch you and Skylar, who was a guest on our show a few weeks ago. And that was kind of freaky for me to sit there and watch you guys, especially because I had been to another hypnosis show before. And when he was doing, I think it's called the hypnotic induction, when he was kind of like bringing you to that place.
Yes.
The first one that I went to, he turned the microphone off, so I didn't even know what he was saying to the people on stage. I'm like, oh, what kind of little magic is he doing up there? Like, what is he saying to them? But he did have like the music going and everything, so I'm like, oh, this is pretty chill. But I was so scared because part of me like thought that since I could hear like the hypnotic induction, I'm like, okay, now let me do the opposite of everything that he's saying so I don't also get hypnotized. He's like, and now you're going to relax your hands. And I'm like, I'm going to tense up my hands so bad. Yeah, but it was cool to see the process of that. And then slowly people would just like, their heads would like drop. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like kind of scary, but not, it's more cool than scary when you get used to it.
Yeah, and I always thought before doing a hypnosis show, I was like, it's probably not real. Not saying I don't believe in it, but because like I'm into like mindfulness things and, you know, meditation, I could see where kind of like the link is where there's like some meditations, like something called, I remember learning in high school called Yoga Nidra, where you listen to a guided meditation, you can lay down, and when you're listening to it and like bringing awareness to different parts of your body, I feel like I'm sinking into the floor, and that's what kind of reminded me with like the hypnosis show. Like, I was like kind of comparing it to like a meditation. Yeah. And I felt so relaxed.
That's so good because I know he said that, you know, afterwards everyone's going to feel like relaxed, refreshed, like they had another sleep. I'm like, well, that's nice. Or like he's like a 4-hour power nap you'll feel like you just woke up from. I'm like, well, that's super cool. Yeah. And it was really funny, like, getting to decide what you guys did on the stage. Like, at one point, we made it so that you guys could see, like, a celebrity that you like in the audience. Yeah. Okay, and you said, who'd you say?
Harry Styles.
She said Harry Styles. Did you actually see Harry Styles in the audience?
I feel like I did. I don't know if it was just, like, my imagination. I feel like I did. But then, trying to think. It was like near in the back. I felt like, oh wait, I was just like looking. That person looks like Harry Styles.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Because like imagine you just like your imagination made up Harry Styles just like running around the room. Oh my gosh, Harry Styles. And Skylar, he was so into it. Like oh my gosh, there was this kid in the audience, and I say kid, we're all college student, not like a kid, but a college kid. In the audience, and Skylar thought that it was like a comedian that he really likes. Yeah. And he was so into it that the hypnotist like brought him down to take a picture with whoever was in the audience, and it was so funny. Yeah. Because he genuinely thought that it was the comedian, and oh my gosh. And then in the moment where the hypnotist was like, and now you realize who it really is. It's just a stranger. Skylar was like, oh, like what? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was really, really fun.
It was so fun. I hope they do it again because that was like my first hypnotist show, and I want to be a volunteer again.
Oh my gosh, you don't want to watch? You want to be in the action?
Because it's fun, and like I feel like even if you're in the audience, you can kind of participate too. Like you can listen to what they're saying, because you know you're sitting in a chair, the volunteers are sitting in a chair. I feel like no matter where you sit, I feel like you can like take part in it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think to myself, would I want to do that one day? I feel like I would have to decide on the spot if I wanted to. I can't like prepare beforehand. I'd have to just like feel it out and be like, you know what, maybe I'll try it, or just sit back again and watch. Because I mean, watching is just as fun as being involved. Yeah. So it's like everyone has a good time.
I really like. I just wanted to be like I said, for those type of shows, I've always wanted to do that. That's why I would say like I want to be a volunteer again because of how long I've wanted to do that. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to do that then, because, you know, that's checked off the list. And if you want to do it again, you can. Yes. I hope they do other shows like that here. Yeah. It was a really fun night out to the student center. And yeah, that was just really, really nice. Yeah. It's really fun. Very funny too.
It was hilarious.
They had some funny things going on. That was really, really good. Anyway, let's take a little bit of a break. Do you have sort of an idea of what you want to play, Emily?
Yes, I do.
Ooh, give it to me.
There's a song, and it's by somebody who's actually going to be going on tour. They just dropped a new album. Their name is Joji, and the song's called...
I've heard Joji.
Yes. There's a song on here. It's called Gimme Love by Joji, and it's really good. You guys should listen.
All right. Give us a little introduction, Emily.
Okay, so coming right from Joji is Gimme Love, and that was Gimme Love by Joji.
Yeah. Okay, so this show, we're going to be talking a little bit about a fun place called New York City. So before we get into all of that, we're going to play for you Welcome to New York by Taylor Swift. And that was Welcome to New York by Taylor Swift. Welcome to New York, everyone. We're talking about New York City today. All right, so let's start with the fact that last Thursday, yes. Days of the week, Thursday.
Yes.
I went on a trip. Career Services put together this trip to go to SiriusXM and Pandora in New York City, kind of like the big building that they have there. So I'm going to talk about that today. And I figure it's relevant because, you know, we're on the radio, SiriusXM, Pandora, that's the radio world. And yeah, here we go. So we had to take the train at 8:15 in the morning, which was pretty early. It was a little bit of a shock when I got that email, when it was like, okay, here's the logistics of the day. We are departing from the train station at 8:15 a.m. And I'm like, 8:15 a.m. Oh my, okay. But it wasn't too bad. We were all there bright and early in the morning. The dress was business casual, so everyone looked all cute and stuff. And we hopped on the train. And also, what was really pretty, I don't know if I've ever taken the train like during the fall time, or at least like during the day in the fall, because when the trees were going by, they were all like so pretty, like all the colors of the leaves and everything. That was something I really liked. It felt like main character energy, like on the train with the pretty trees passing by. And then we ended up going to Penn Station, and we took a group picture like a bunch of tourists, which was really funny. We're all like sitting there taking the picture like, oh my gosh, we look like tourists right now. Okay. And then we made our walk to SiriusXM and Pandora, which was about a 20-minute walk.
What street was it on, if I can interrupt?
You know what? I'm going to talk and look it up at the same time.
Yeah.
So it was about a 20-minute walk, and I don't know if I've ever taken a 20-minute walk to anywhere in New York, but to me it felt like a lifetime. You know, it was nice like seeing obviously all the fun buildings and stuff in New York, but you know, after a while it's like, okay, so when are we going to get there? I'm just like not used to walking in New York for that long. Let's see. It's 1221 is the long number of the building. Avenue of the Americas.
Oh, okay. So it's not... Oh, I know where that is. Okay.
Yes, it's a very nice building. I took a 0.5 of it, like going all the way up to get the whole building in. Yeah, it was really nice. Once we got there, we walked in. They like took our IDs and stuff. They gave us these little like paper slips that said that we were guests SiriusXM, and it was so cool because like it had my name on it, and I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm going to SiriusXM. And then we were on like the 38th floor.
Oh, wow.
If I remember correctly, the 38th floor, which have you ever like taken an elevator up to like a very high floor before?
Not really. Only for like hotels, but definitely not in New York.
Because if you've taken like an elevator going like all the way up there, your ears start to pop.
Oh, right.
Repeatedly on the way up. And, you know, that was a little bit of a nuisance. Cause, like, everyone in the elevator, they're all like, whoa. Like, we feel the altitude. Our ears are popping. So, you know, I mean, that was a little annoying. But, I mean, otherwise, it was a really fancy elevator because there was, like, a keypad outside the elevator, like, on the wall.
Oh, wow.
And before you went into the elevator, you pressed what floor you wanted to go to. And then when you walked into the elevator, you didn't have to do anything.
That's cool.
Yeah, right? That was the first time I experienced that. That was really cool.
Yeah.
We walked into SiriusXM, and we all checked in. And there was, like, a cute little lobby area with couches and stuff. And it felt really professional, which was so cool. And they had, like, the wall of, like, the SiriusXM logo, like, a bunch of times that, like, celebrities take pictures in front of.
That's awesome.
And, so, like, we took a group picture there, and, like, some people also got, like, pictures of themselves in front of the wall, which that was really cool. And then our tour guide, she started to kind of bring us through SiriusXM, and she's like, oh, so you probably won't get a good look at the actual studios because we have a lot of walls set up because we do a lot of video content now.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay, oh, darn. But, you know, it makes sense. But we did get to see a little bit of, like, one of the performance spaces that they have. We did get to see a couple of studios. And then all of a sudden, this, you know, one of the DJs walks down the hallway. And, you know, she's like, oh, hi, guys. You know, oh, is this a tour? Where are you from? And we're like, oh, we're from Monmouth University in New Jersey. And she's like, oh, my gosh, New Jersey. She's like, I'm from New Jersey. Like, literally, come over here. We're going to go and we're going to sit in on Sway's Universe.
I saw that.
Live on Sirius XM. And we're like, oh, she was one of the DJs on Sway's Universe. And we're like, what the heck is going on right now? And, you know, she's like, everyone get your cameras out. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And meanwhile, I'm like, wait a second, what are we actually doing? Like, I didn't know what was going on yet. Yeah, I thought we were just going to go say hi to someone. But no, we walked in and Sway was interviewing an artist. His name is Grip. He was like signed by Eminem. He's like collaborated with him, which is insane. So literally the entire tour group got to just watch this interview happen actually on Sirius XM with all the video cameras and everything. And it was insane.
That is so cool.
Oh my gosh. And we had three of our students who were on the tour actually got to sit on the air and ask Grip questions.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was insane. The whole time I'm like, I can't believe this is happening right now. It was really truly a once in a lifetime opportunity. It was the craziest thing, and we were there for a while. It took up like a good chunk of our time, which, you know, we're obviously very like lucky and grateful for that. So we didn't really like tour around very much more of the building after that, because it took up so much time, but you know, it almost didn't matter because that was like,
that's so cool. I'm like bad with words. That is, I can't even explain. Like that, I could try to say something besides cool. Amazing.
I was like, I'm also at a loss for words. Yeah, and then after that, we got to talk to some people who are actually working at SiriusXM. One of them, her name is Arena. Mm-hmm. She is one of the alumni from Monmouth University.
Oh, cool.
And I was in C Sharps with her for a little bit. I know, like, my freshman year, she really, you know, helped me out. We were on Zoom at the time, but, you know, she was very, very nice, and she helped me, like, assimilate into the group very well. So, yeah, I knew her, and it was really cool seeing her, like, actually, like, hey, I work at SiriusXM, because that's awesome. Like, a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and overall, it was just great to see kind of what it's like there in a real professional New York, you know, radio station type of thing. And we did, our tour guide did mention, like, she's like, oh, Howard Stern's thing is over there, but we can't go in there.
Aw.
She's like, you won't be able to see it, but it's over there. We're like, okay, cool. But yeah, and then probably, I mean, I'd say the worst part of the trip was the travel back, like the 20-minute walk back to the station and like the hour-and-a-half trip back, because I was so exhausted at that point.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just felt like a million years getting back here. But other than that, it was, oh my gosh, it was so cool. It was so cool. And yeah, I just wanted to share kind of what that experience was like.
I think that sounds like an amazing trip. Like I said, I'm kind of bad with words, especially since, you know, like Elena and I are on the radio, and Elena's done like Blue Hawk Talk before on WMCX. And Elena was mentioning to me, and I have to mention this, Elena was mentioning to me, like, oh, you can go on the trip too. And I was like, oh, I want to go. I really want to go because I'm like, come with me. Yeah, like, since this show's about New York, like, I love New York. I try to take any opportunity to go. And so I thought maybe I can make it. I just have one class on Thursdays. But then this class that I had, like, she announced, like, just a couple of hours after Elena and I talked, she said, oh, we're actually just going to have the quiz. And then, like, class will be over, but then you have to go to, like, an event that's happening later on campus. I think it was, like, 3 o'clock, which, I mean, the presentation was really good, don't get me wrong, but I was just, like, you know, so excited because, you know, like, since I'm new to the radio, I wanted to see how it is, especially, like, in Elena said, like, in a professional setting, like, especially, like, since Sirius and Pandora, you know, like, I've heard of them for years growing up. But I was so upset because, like I said, hours after Elena and I were talking about it, I'm just like, I can't go.
I felt so bad because I'm like, oh my gosh, we're doing the radio together. Why don't we go to this together? It'll be fun. You love New York. It'll be a cool experience. And then, because I know you were saying like, oh, I have a class that day. And I'm like, it's okay. I have class that day too, and I'm gonna not go. But
Yeah.
no, the professor was cool with it, so it's all good. But then, she ended up throwing the quiz in there, and that, other presentation. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I try to, but I never, well, knock on wood, but like I never had to like make up a test because I'm usually like always there, and then like I said, because there was like another presentation going on, it was like a requirement, so I had to go. But maybe next time, I'm hoping,
Maybe next time.
yeah.
Maybe they'll do it again.
I'm hoping.
And there are a lot of like cool businesses in New York, obviously, because it's New York. And I'm sure they'll definitely do like more trips there, so that'll be cool. Yeah. Okay, let's take another break. Let's see. I have a song that I would love to play for all of you. This is one of my favorites, I think, because it puts me in my feels. It is just so fun to lip sync to. I haven't tried singing to it yet because I don't know if I could ever do it justice, but this song, it is so super iconic. This is Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. And that was Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler.
Okay, we're going to play another song too. And I thought this would be appropriate since, like, whoever's just joining in, we were talking about how Elaine and I attended the hypnosis show on Friday night held here at Monmouth University. And long story short, we were talking about how, like, when I was being a volunteer on stage that they said we would see a celebrity. And I said, oh, I see Harry Styles.
Yes.
So we figured it's appropriate if we play a Harry Styles song. And this one is called Satellite. And that was Satellite by Harry Styles.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. If you're just joining us, you're listening to E Squared with Elena Wharton and
Emily Maxim.
And we're talking about New York City today. And Emily, you love going to New York City. So tell us about your favorite places. Give us Emily's recommendations.
I always go to like the same places, and even like when you're mentioning New York right now, I'm just like thinking I miss it. I've been going like since I was like the first time my family and I went together. I was like 6, I think, and we drove in, which I don't really recommend because the traffic in New York and then like parking. I always go on the train. Some of the places I always go to, like I don't know if anybody, I never mentioned it on here, but I actually am a huge gamer. I love video games.
Oh, that's right. I know what you're going to talk about.
Yes. There's this one place I always have to go to. It's called, I don't know if it's called Nintendo World or just Nintendo. And it's like 2 stories. They sell video games. They sell like merchandise from Nintendo, like plushies, figures, you name it, they have it. And they always change up like their layout. They always have new like different types of merch.
Oh, nice.
And like I said, I love video games. Like since I grew up with with brothers, so I always love video games. I don't play it that often during like the semester because I don't have time, and I'm like if I play a video game, I'm like I need to study. Yeah.
Like, video game or study, the choice.
Exactly.
Do you have a favorite Nintendo character that's like your go-to when you go to the store? Like, oh, I need something that's this character.
I can't choose because like there's like different games that I like. Like I love Kirby, Pokemon, Legend of Zelda. So I usually get something from there. Trying to think what else. But if you're not a gamer, then that's totally fine.
I mean, I'm not like a gamer,
right?
But I do love I love Super Mario Brothers. I have it on the Wii. That one's really fun.
I have, like I said, like, cause like I grew up with like a house where like everybody played video games. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Like that's what I grew up on. And like I don't play it as much, like I said, because of like the semester. But that's my favorite store in New York. Where else do I go? I love walking around for hours. And I could go anywhere, but it just goes by so fast because you're doing so much walking. There's so much to see. One place I used to go to when I was younger, like before high school and like middle or like college, before I had like a really busy schedule, my mom and I would try to go to New York like twice in a year. Sometimes we would go like 3 times. We would go a lot.
Fun.
And there was this place like that my mom showed me. It's called American Girl, and for those who don't know, what you do is that you could pick out a doll that looks like you, and you can like get outfits and all that. It's almost like Build-A-Bear, but you know, it's like these like just dolls, and they can have the same hair color as you, eye color. Mine doesn't match mine anymore because mine has bangs.
Oh,
Yeah.
that long ago. Oh my gosh.
Yes, yes. And like they have a thing there, like my mom and I would get, they would have like a brunch that you can go to, and there would be like a little seat for your doll to sit with you.
Oh my gosh.
And it was really fun. Like I would go for my
Aw.
birthday sometimes, and like my mom and I would act so silly in the restaurant, like just like with the dolls there. And it was a lot of fun. Trying to think what else. I've gone to a couple concerts there, just to like, I guess, name a few or whichever ones I went to. The first concert I saw in New York was Billy Joel.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
He was so good. That was when I was, I think, 14, 15.
That is so cool.
Yes, it was awesome. He's really talented. I love Billy Joel. I went with my brother, my mom that time. And then I haven't gone to a concert, like, I haven't gone to too many concerts in New York, because then I'm trying to remember.
You're good.
Yeah.
Get the memories. Take a minute.
I finally went back to, like, I started going to concerts again in New York when, like, when COVID was happening. Like, this was when, like, Omicron was starting up. And so, like, we kind of mentioned this in, like, one of the first shows. Elena and I went to a Big Time Rush concert when they first came back. Yes. And it was in December 2021. So when we went, like, we got the tickets, or Elena got the tickets, thanks to her, like, computer skills.
I still don't know how I did it. I still don't know.
We got the tickets in July. So, like, COVID was different then. Not to make it about COVID, but, like, just, it was different then. And then, the concert, I think, was December 18th, 2021.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so like that was when Omicron was just about to start up. And then so it was good to like go back to New York, but then at the same time, I don't know why, I forgot that restrictions were happening in New York. I think because I thought, oh, it's a different world. I don't know why. It was just in the back of my head, like, how did I forget that New York was having, like, you know, the same restrictions we were?
It feels like a different world, definitely, when you're there.
Yeah, and like I had my vaccine card. Like some places you had to go in with a card. So, and then like the places that I really wanted to go to, like they had lines out the door since, like I said, it's like the week before Christmas. And I completely forgot about the restrictions. So I was so sad that we couldn't go to like I said, the Nintendo store. I like to go to M&M World.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. And it's just like seeing all the lines. Like I said, I forgot that restrictions existed, but because I got so spoiled with going to New York, I went like 3 times in the summer, and then I went again for fall break. When we had fall break, it was the Monday. So I'm trying to take every opportunity I can to go, since like before COVID. The last time I went was in 2019, and then you know, I was like, oh, we can go back again, you know, but then, you know, not knowing COVID was happening, that every time I go, I'm just like making it feel as if, okay, this is the last time I'm going for a while, because I keep thinking about like how COVID affected it so much.
You just have to, you know, just be grateful every time you're there.
Yeah.
And it's always a different experience.
Yes, and even like I said, if I like going to the same places, I like going to like Times Square. I went to Central Park once. Like I like going to the same places. I don't care. Like I love it. It's still exciting. I still love it.
And I mean, we have 5 minutes left, but just real quick, I just want to shout out all the theater nerds out there, because when I go to New York, it's usually for a Broadway show. Just a couple of favorites. I know my first one that I went to see was Mary Poppins. I loved Les Mis. I have a list, so I didn't forget. Tug Everlasting. Oh gosh, Phantom of the Opera. I just want to talk about Phantom of the Opera. It's closing, I think, in February of 2023, and I'm really sad about it. But I love Phantom of the Opera. I also, something cool that I went to see was Prince of Broadway, which was Hal Prince. If you know Hal Prince, he directed a lot of Broadway shows, kind of like a review of a ton of songs from the shows that he directed. Wonderful tribute to him. And the most recent one that I saw was in 2019, the revival of Oklahoma, which changed my life. And yeah, I've seen a handful of other shows too, but those are just a couple that I wanted to talk about really quick. And I haven't seen a Broadway show since then, but hopefully, I'm hoping the next one is Back to the Future because
Oh, yes.
I'm actually really excited about that.
And I still never, like, no hate. I love Broadway. I love Broadway songs, and seeing, like, especially since Elena and I went to the same school, like, watching the musicals, I still never went to a Broadway show.
Oh my gosh.
But I think it's because, like, the ones that I really want to see, like, they don't have on, like, they're not playing. Like, for example, Les Mis, I've always wanted to see.
It's on tour, so if you do actually want to see it, it's going to be touring, or it is touring, like right now.
Oh, I gotta check into it.
You have to look into it. But yeah, I know we have so much time left, so I want to squeeze in one more song. Well, we don't have so much time left. We only have so much time left. So let's squeeze in one more song. This is, I don't know if you know it, but it was really popular on TikTok. This is Until I Found You by Steven Sanchez. How lovely. That was Until I Found You by Steven Sanchez. We just wanted to pop in one more time and say goodbye to everyone. It is just about almost 12 o'clock, so we need to skedaddle. But thank you so much for listening this week. I'm Elena Wharton.
Emily Maxim.
And you have been listening to E Squared. Be sure to join us next week, Tuesday, 11 a.m., for some more chatting with us, Elena and Emily, about some really cool things. Probably some concert experiences next week, unless we change our minds. But anyway, be sure to, follow us at E_WMCX. All of our socials are on there, and check out the stuff in the highlights. It's really cool. We have a Spotify playlist, a YouTube. Be sure to check us out and enjoy the rest of your day. This is I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor by Arctic Monkeys.